Example 4. So we have x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now here it has to add up to a negative. So we're going to show all of them. So again, it has to add up to this and multiply to this. So it's going to be 1 and 8. I'm going to write the negatives now so we can see what we're going to get. 2 and 4, negative 2, negative 4. 3 doesn't work, and 4 we're already at. So we're done. So it's going to be 9, negative 9, 6, and negative 6. Adds up to negative 6, so it's going to be this one over here. And we kind of knew that both of them were going to be negative, now that we think about it a little bit, because we need two numbers that multiply to a positive. So if you're multiplying to a positive, it's either two negatives or two positives. And it has to add up to a negative. Two positives are not going to add up to a negative, so it should be two negatives. So you could use that kind of reasoning to shorten this table over here. Or, if you don't really understand that kind of reasoning, just write out all the possibilities, and that also works. So in this case, it's going to be equal to x minus 2, x minus 4. I should point out that the order doesn't matter. So if you had written, for example, x minus 4 and x minus 2, they both would have been the right answer. So the order of the brackets is irrelevant. Example 5. X squared plus 4x minus 21. So we have to add up to this and multiply to this. We're going to multiply to negative 21. To multiply to a negative, we need one positive and one negative. So it's 1 and negative 21, or negative 1 and positive 21. 2 does not work. 3 and minus 7, negative 3 and positive 7. 4, that's ugly. 5 is ugly. 6 is ugly if we divide it. 7, already done. That's it. So let's add these up. 1 and negative 21 adds up to negative 20. This adds up to positive 20, negative 4, and positive 4. And we need it to add up to 4. So it's going to be this one over here. Now it matters which one is the negative. So notice if it was 3 and negative 7, it adds up to negative 4. But in this case, it has to add up to positive 4. So we're going to get x minus 3 and x plus 7. If you're not sure if you have the right answer, there's actually a way you could figure it out. So let's say you're in the middle of a test and you're not sure if you have the right answer. You could just expand it. All right, so you could go x times x is x squared, x times 7 is 7x, minus 3x is that, minus 3 times 7 is minus 21. Combine the like terms, and you end up back to there. So that's one way you could always test it to see if you have the right answer. Okay, I'm going to start speeding up a little here. So it multiplies to a negative, so that means one of them is going to be positive, one of them is going to be negative. So I don't really have a shortcut, but I'm going to kind of show a shortcut. So we need to multiply to negative 30. So it's going to be 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 4 doesn't work, 5 and 6. And we know it has to add up to a negative, which means that the bigger number is going to have to be the negative one. So 1 and minus 30 is minus 29. And but if you didn't get what I just did there, just write all the examples. Minus 13, minus 7, minus 1. Did any of these work? Well, it turns out one of them actually did. So it says when it says minus x, there's kind of an invisible 1 there. So it's minus 1x. Which means that the winner is these guys over here. So this factors into x plus 5, x minus 6. Now just to point out, if you had x minus 6 times x plus 5, that would be correct. If you had x minus 5 and x plus 6, that would be wrong. So it doesn't matter the order the bracket's in, but the plus or minus has to be with the correct number. The minus has to be with the 6. The plus has to be with a 5 in this case. Adds up to this, multiplies to this. Now, we have to multiply to a positive, so it's 2 pluses or 2 minuses. But it has to add up to a negative, so they're both minus. So once it multiplies to 5, and that's going to be minus 1, minus 5, and there's no other options. So that was pretty straightforward. Just like that.